So there's been some rather entertaining fallout after the Concerned Students 1950 and their rather draconian efforts to silence the free press. Seems like the journalism department of Mizzou was really quite nonplussed with having someone holding an honorary position in their department calling in some muscle to strong-arm a reporter out who had every right to be there.
No, you need to get out.
Well,
you need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here.
But before they could get a meeting together to fire her, she stepped down. Oh, and the other woman.
Don't push me, ma'am.
Don't push me.
Sir, what's your name? Sir, can you please leave? You're at the Office of Greek Life?
My name is 1950.
Actually, no, it's not 1950. And yes, he is right. You do work for the Greek Life and Leadership, according to the university website, and also the Assistant Director of Student Life Office. And she's been placed on administrative leave. And what was all this about in the first place? Well, apparently the Concerned Students of 1950, particularly this guy, was on hunger strike because an unidentified person in a pickup truck allegedly shouted something racist within earshot of a black student, which was clearly such an egregious offence to those who had never seen what real racism looks like that they staged this protest.
So that's why, as we strategized and put that together, we decided to have the demonstration, not shut down the parade, but have a demonstration where we could have a almost dialogue, if you will, directly with Tim Wolf. When we see more of local media, it's more of these brash headline statements with black students either being angry with their fists in the air or looking angry, let me say that.
Now, Jonathan, I wonder where the media could possibly get such an unfair and unfounded belief.
And I see some black people looking at me, man, why you gotta say that? Why you gotta say that? It ain't us, it's the media. The media has distorted our image to make us look bad. Why must you come down on us like that, brother? It ain't us, it's the media. Please cut the fucking shit, okay? Okay?
Now, if you look around, you'll find these people are very angry about racism. It's just they don't really seem to have that many incidents to complain about. I mean, it all seems to have originated from a single guy yelling nigger at a guy from a passing pickup truck, from which they concluded that racism lives here.
We're not afraid. We're here. Racism lives here, but so do we.
Because Jonathan is quite clear that no one should be allowed to call him nigger on campus and get away with it.
We will not continue to be called niggers on this campus. Believe that.
Unless, of course, it's Concerned Students 1950, then using the word nigger is fine.
There's some shit going on with black people right now. It's like a civil war going on with black people. And there's two sides. It's black people and there's niggers. Niggas have got to go. Every time black people want to have a good time, ignorant ass niggas fuck it up.
Yeah, nigga.
Can't do shit. Can't do shit without some ignorant ass niggas fucking it up.
Stop it. Drop the N-word never, nigga.
We're upset that we're oppressed, that people can call us the N-word and do other things to us or mistreat us in our classrooms and get away with it.
Yeah, nigga.
We will not continue to be called niggers on this campus. Believe that.
I'm already in a hostile environment. I already feel like I can't live in this space.
You know, there have been these reports that like black students are afraid to be on campus. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, we're not afraid. Best believe, this is our campus. We pay to be here. We're not afraid at all.
So anyway, incensed by having almost nothing to complain about, Jonathan here decided to up his social justice warrior game.
Black student groups have complained for months about racial slurs on the mostly white campus and called for University President Tim Wolf to resign. Frustrations flared at the October 10th homecoming parade when Wolf wouldn't get out of his car to speak with demonstrators who were blocking him.
Stopping the parade in front of the president of the university's car.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
We have nothing to lose
those who missed it, this was the mortal, life-threatening, racist incident that prompted the concerned students to call for his resignation.
2 students, some 6-year-old,
Do you want to go to jail or something?
about 100 from the local Walmart, and some from all over the front line of the Black Culture Center.
Do not engage. Do not engage. Do not engage.
This was an attempt.
Engage? What the fuck are you talking about?
Do not engage, y'all. Remain millions.
Frustrations flared at the October 10th homecoming parade when Wolf wouldn't get out of his car to speak with demonstrators who were blocking him.
We demand that the University of Missouri system president Tim Wolf write a handwritten apology for the concerned students of 1950 demonstrators and holds a press conference in the Mizzou Student Center reading the letter. In the letter and at the press conference, Tim Wolf must acknowledge his white male privilege, recognize that systems of oppression exist, and provide a verbal commitment to fulfilling concerned students of 1950's demands. We want Tim Wolf to admit his gross negligence, allowing his driver to hit one of the demonstrators. Consenting to the physical violence of bystanders, and Leslie refusing to intervene when Columbia Police Department used excessive force with demonstrators.
Let's go. Let's go.
Don't give them conviction over your body. Don't give them conviction.
You film me, I'm filming you. Let's go.
That's great. Don't give them conviction. Thank you so much.
Move, get out of the road.
Don't give them conviction on your body.
Out of the road.
Yeah, apparently this poor concerned student
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
was so persecuted by his lack of white privilege, because, you know, even though his dad, it turns out, is a multi-millionaire, he still manages to find time to lecture people on how systems of oppression exist, and how evil Tim Wolf is for having white male privilege, and that now he's going to starve himself to death unless Tim Wolf agrees to their demands. And yeah, if I was the president, he would be shit out of luck, because I would make a point of eating heart attack inducing burgers right in front of the whiny little bitch who thinks that this was a life-threatening incident, until he acknowledges that being the son of a multi-millionaire at an American university makes him one of the most privileged people on the planet. And honestly, a few weeks without food might do him some good. For these people, civil rights was an issue. For these spoiled, well-groomed rich kids with their matching brand new protest outfits, whining about civil rights is just a game to play in between slurping their lattes at Starbucks, because it's the only thing that they're qualified to do, and that's only because the only entry requirement is to be born with black skin. Yeah, so keen were these freedom fighters to make their point that they decided they were going to trample all over everyone else's First Amendment rights. Why? Because they had the muscle to do it.
You lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up. You lost this one, bro. You just lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up.
Hi, media. Can I talk to you?
No, you need to get out.
Well,
you need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here.
Only to the very next day, after notably the video had gone viral, decide that, our bad. Now we actually understand First Amendment rights. Jesus Christ, dudes, get an education before you go on hunger strike. Otherwise, you're simply going to die hungry and stupid. Seriously, this group went from no First Amendment rights because we put up a sign to saying that, First Amendment rights are okay, in just over the time it took this video to get wall-to-wall media coverage. But it turns out these black students really should probably leave the thinking to someone else. And when I say someone else, I don't mean the white woman or the other white woman, because it turns out her degree in communication with the speciality in mass media really didn't clue her in to the impact of viral video and how threatening force really is getting on for criminal behavior rather than First Amendment rights. Which is why she's now not only lost her honorary position in the journalism school, but has had charges filed against her. Yeah, I know, how long before we get the social justice warriors with a new protest saying how suing Melissa Click just proves how Mizzou hates women, and how this shows how sexist their new black president is for allowing this to happen, and demanding his resignation. And sure, why the hell not? Because it seems to be flavour of the month. Why not get a load of feminists to go on hunger strike until someone ends sexism at Mizzou? And sure, Concerned Students 1950 were right there, showing what progressive, non-racist sorts they were by tweeting this. It's typical white media that doesn't understand the importance of respecting black spaces. Holy shit, dude. I thought you might be a bunch of radical dumbass crazies, but I had no idea you were that crazy. I mean, didn't Rosa Parks have this little protest about 50 years ago about the importance of there not being black and white spaces? But here you are, 50 years on, asking for black spaces back again. Martin Luther King took a bullet to get rid of that sort of thing. And now this privileged son of a multimillionaire wants to starve himself to death to get them back again. Seriously, here's a girl complaining about not respecting spaces defined on skin color.
But I also want to know a Q&A is a question and answer, it's not a dialogue. The point is to uplift and validate the perspective and to honor the black students, particularly the black students at Mizzou. I find it highly problematic that the point of this is to uplift your narrative as a white male entering a black space and then having, the audacity to file a lawsuit about assault. As a white person, you were assaulted when black people are dying every day in the streets.
So, darling, if you think that this guy should be forcibly evicted from an area defined as an area for people of only one skin color, respecting black spaces, what exactly would your problem be with Rosa Parks being forcibly evicted from an area based only on her skin color? For not respecting white spaces. And these students represent the academic future of the country. But it's not just the black students who are to blame here. No, not just the black ones. Because Mizzou should hold its head in shame merely for the fact that a protest like this can happen in the middle of a university. Seriously, these people are meant to be the future of the country. And this is how they behave. Led by Melissa Click, so expertly qualified by her thesis on the whiteness of Martha Stewart, and so eminently qualified to be a communications professor after she was awarded a grant from the Center of Arts and Humanities from the University of Missouri to go to a Twilight conference to study Twilight fans. And on top of this, she's getting paid about $60,000 a year to write about Twilight, Martha Stewart, Lady Gaga, and food and individual responsibility in US reality TV.
Please, everyone knows 20th century colleges were basically expensive daycare centers.
Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised after all that their students are so keen to die hungry and stupid. Well, maybe I should just be looking forward to it, because really, can you imagine what a country run by these losers would look like? And really, you should just check out how much support these black students, who until yesterday thought that First Amendment rights could be simply revoked by a side-drawn-in crayon, has. It's got page after page of black power salutes.
Power! I say! Power!
Seriously, guys, let me just fill you in to what you look like to the rest of the world. I mean, imagine what a load of people giving Asian power salutes would look like. Okay, forget that. Let's try something a little closer to home. Imagine what it would look like if there were a load of white people giving white power salutes.
White power! White power! White power! White what? White power! White power! White power! White power! White power! White power! White. Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
We have nothing to lose for our team! We have nothing to lose for our team! I say! Power! I say! Power! I say!
Power!
I say!
And of course, because this is a magical wizard fight, you have to make sure that the white man doesn't steal your power. Sorry, power.
Stay strong, do not give them your power!
Let's capture that girl and steal her magical essence.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you look like, going around as a bunch of black guys giving these black power salutes. It makes you look like you're a bunch of radicals in favor of segregation. A bunch who want their black-only spaces back again. All wearing your coordinated, built on my black t-shirts from 1839. Jesus Christ, dudes, how far in the past are you living? Need I remind you that you're living in a stolen country? You know, stolen from the Redskins. And really, just let it go. We fought one of the bloodiest wars ever with the Germans in 1940. And already, we've kissed and made up to the point where I work regularly with Germans and we joke about it. And even if your ancestors were persecuted under slavery, you cannot help but deny, however many generations on, that you're a lot better off as African Americans than the Africans who were not brought to America as slaves. Seriously, if you want to know how well off you are, visit Africa sometime. You know, the third world. Really, for all of that shit your ancestors went through, you are now about 20 times wealthier than the ancestors who were not abducted and brought to the first world. Sure, I'm not saying that justifies what happened in America under slavery. But then again, let's not be too selective about our outrage. Especially if you're going to choose to backdate it over a century ago. Remember African Americans' stolen country. You're not exactly making any noises about giving it back now, are you? Sure, you have first world problems, but at least they're first world problems. And really, how much of the blame can you lay at the feet of the oppressing white man when under the exact same system, the Asians, who are just as much of a minority as you, are the best paid demographic in America? And that's ignoring the fact that you're about 30 times richer than your ancestors who were not abducted by the slavers. And that's still ignoring the fact that this guy is the son of a multi-millionaire and he's still complaining about being oppressed.
The hunger strike guy is a millionaire. You mad because black people got money? You mad.
No, honey. No one gives a shit that he's a rich black man. They're just dumbstruck at the sheer, massive, self-centered arrogance of someone who is one of the most privileged people on the planet and still not only wants to play the victim, but wants other people to apologize to him for their white privilege. If the best you have to complain about is a racist comment yelled by some unknown person in a pickup truck, you should probably watch Mississippi Burning sometime.
Good afternoon. Looks good. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? I ain't got nothing to say to you, sir. Just a few questions. I ain't got nothing to say to you, sir.
And a single comment yelled from a passing pickup truck is enough to prompt this sort of behavior and you boycotting classes.
All y'all in silence, y'all are part of the problem. Every person who did say anything, you are the problem. Your kids are going to have to learn about the racism. Yes, 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 here, everywhere. Violence. People want.
Naturally, Jonathan can recognize that when merely 7 of 8 of the curators are Mizzou graduates, that there's a very high risk for a groupthink mentality.
And again, if you look at the board of curators as it is, 7 out of 8 of them are Mizzou graduates with JDs. So it's a very high risk for groupthink mentality.
But somehow doesn't see the risk of groupthink here, where 10 out of 10 of the people are black people with persecution complexes. Now at this point you might be saying, what the hell would I know about black culture in America?
There ain't even that many black people in the country, okay? Black people are 10% of the fucking population. Black people in New York, DC, LA, Chicago, Atlanta, like 10 places, okay?
Well, probably a lot more than you'd think, because I've lived in America on and off for well over a decade and have driven back and forth across America about half a dozen times.
Ain't no black people in Minnesota. All you find, only black people in Minnesota is Prince and Kirby Puckett, okay?
So I probably have a hands-on feel for the demographics of America and how they're mixed across the geography, more so than many who would seem more comely. And sure, there's still an awful lot of inhomogeneity in America along black lines, but the Asians, they tend to melt much better. And yeah, black communities tend to be just that. Poor, insular black communities.
Shit, the whole rest of the country, the other 40 states, is filled up with broke-ass white people. Broke-ass, living in a trailer home, eating mayonnaise sandwiches, fucking their sister, listening to John Cougar Mellencamp records.
But shit, guys, you're at university. You're the next generation who can break this stereotype. And honestly, some hillbilly calling you a nigger is not the end of the world. And if that's enough to make you go on strike from your studies and argue for black-only spaces, then maybe you're part of the problem. Maybe you are the people keeping a 150-year-old division alive. Now sure, when nigger isn't used as a term of endearment,
yeah, nigga.
It's typically used as a racial slur. But honestly, when I hear it as a pejorative, especially if it's yelled from some unidentified person in a pickup truck, it pretty much tells me everything I need to know about such a person and just how much I should care about that person's opinions. Just like when I hear someone talking like this.
You lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up. You lost this one, bro. You just lost this one, bro. You lost this one, bro. Back up.
To a reporter who is just doing their job, that pretty much tells me everything I need to know about that person. And honestly, it seems to me a pretty good representation of your group. I mean, let me just spell this out for you. In America, how much you get paid depends mostly on your education. You want your demographic to get paid more, then getting a decent education in something worthwhile is a good start.
One student, Jonathan Butler, announced he was going on a hunger strike until the president resigned. But it was the actions of the football team that tipped the scales. Over the weekend, several black players announced that they wouldn't practice, lift weights, or play a game until the protesters' demands were met.
And honestly, if I were in charge of Mizzou, your sports team would also be shit out of luck.
At least 30 football players announced on Saturday night that they would not participate in team activities until Wolf is gone.
I'm not allowed to comment on much, so like I said, we're just going to all stay together as a team, and we all made this decision as a team to, not talk to media, so from everybody.
Jason, were you guys scheduled to have practice today or anything?
Yes, we were.
And you're not having enough?
We're not having practice.
Because down the street, I would call their bluff. Yeah, stay out on the strike. And I've got an even better idea. Let's just dissolve the sports department, because universities should be about academic achievement, not throwing dead pieces of animals around. You sure have your sports academies and whatever, but universities should be about academic achievement. And let's use that money to build a new science block or something, or invest the money in scholarships for the best and the brightest who can't currently afford such an education. And of course, let's invest in campus-wide desensitivity training. Because people these days, they don't need mandatory sensitivity training like the concerned students of 1950 want.
Diversity training, curriculum.
Their whiny little students need desensitivity training. And of course, a primer in fundamental human rights. Stuff that people fought and died for, like freedom of the press and freedom of expression, and why demanding black-only spaces is not going forwards but backwards, such that never again in the middle of a historic university will you see such a shameless display as this in support of the son of a multimillionaire who thinks he's being oppressed by whiteness because of this horrific assault.
2 students, some 6